What's up, guys? Jake here with Hard to Kill Fitness, here with my buddy Sensei, Seth.
What is up?
Seth, tell them what we're doing.
We're kicking stuff.
We're just gonna kick stuff. I don't know much about it.
We're kicking stuff to understand how to kick people, pretty much.
Yeah, essentially. So Seth is gonna teach us, I think, a top 3. We're going top 3.
Yeah.
Kicks for the streets. All right, I'm gonna learn them. I'm gonna struggle through them so you can struggle through them at home.
Yeah,
right?
And they're not gonna be what you think either.
Uh-oh.
They might. You might know.
You might know.
I figured we start off leg kicks.
Yeah.
So like the first most obvious one, if I'm in self-defense, like if I'm fighting you and I'm thinking, oh, okay, I've gotta like take you out, most likely you're probably gonna be like, hey man, either like super close and trying to just like,
body you,
or they're gonna be like kind of far out, they're gonna be trying to like,
we've all seen it. We know it.
yeah, right. So my thought process is, okay, this person, me personally, hold on, sorry, I gotta turn this off. If people are trying to fight you,
right,
most likely they have worse intention than you do, which means they have a little bit more like reckless abandon where they're just like, right? I want to get off the center line or stop them with a kick. My first thought is like a low roundhouse kick, but not just like a regular low roundhouse. If you're swinging at me, like I want a low roundhouse where my head is like super off the center line,
okay,
and I can really dig it.
So we're almost like angling out and then also giving them something to meet.
Right, yeah, exactly. So like a lot of the stuff that people do in striking stuff is like counter-based, or it's like, if I do this, he does that.
Right.
I want to think like one thing that I can do that like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you back up, bang, I do that kick.
Yeah.
If you are coming towards me, bang, you put your leg, I get off the center line, I cover up really well, and I go like that. Because not a lot of people are going to be like throwing switch kicks to your face or like grabbing and kneeing.
Right.
Grabbing and kneeing sometimes kind of happens like, people just watch martial arts
almost
and they're like,
naturally.
oh yeah, and they like throw a crappy knee, but that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking first one is just like a big step out and a roundhouse.
And that's good too, because you don't have to like master the whole, like a whole countering system.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
If you're a cop or something, training martial arts isn't all you do. You could just say, all right, this is something that I can use, you know, in multiple situations.
Yeah, right. And you can kind of like angle it for what you want. We could be going for like a sweep, where if I want to get this foot out, bang, I'm just going to kick low. If I want to really just try and buckle you bad, I'll go right above the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you're going to see in sport pretty much, which is like, it's not self-defense, but yeah, guess what? Like striking is striking. So the first kick, and with kicks you kind of have to be like the most basic if you're going to apply it to something that's so unbasic in nature and has so many variables. Mm-hmm. First one, just a low roundhouse kick. I'm almost stepping like I'm coming towards this bag or that bag. If I'm here, I'm like, whoa, whoa. And I'm throwing a hard low round kick.
Right.
To this area.
Okay.
It could be foot. The more you go lower, there's like a range change with where you kick.
Okay.
If I kick towards the body, it's the furthest I am away.
Okay.
If I kick towards the leg, I actually have to be a little bit closer.
Okay.
Because of the angle difference. If I kick towards the head, it has to be closer, right? Like as I'm going
I see
in,
what you're saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it goes like this. So if I kick towards the body, further away. If I kick towards the legs, I'm closer. If I kick towards the head, I'm closer. Body is going to be probably where we go next, but for this one, we have to step off because the distance is going to be a little bit shorter.
Wow. All right.
Your go. Let's see it.
I like the flexibility here. Not much required.
Yeah.
So I got that.
Yeah, that's why we started with this one first. It's a nice warm-up.
Okay, so you did it from southpaw. I'm gonna do it from orthodox.
That's fair.
So I'm almost pressing off this, angling out.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You're thinking almost like a tiny hop. I guess I didn't teach it at all, did I?
Yeah.
You're thinking like a tiny hop.
All right.
Boom. And after this hop, bang, I place my foot. And now what a lot of people don't teach is that now I'm pulling with this foot.
Okay.
The initial movement starts here. Boom. Once I land here, I am pulling and digging in with my toes and whipping that leg across.
Okay. Okay.
Best practice is like a extend, bang. Okay. But if you are in the moment, you're not going to be thinking, when should I extend my kick? Throw it like a baseball bat. Step, pull, turn those hips over, get your head off the center line.
Okay. Here we are. Let's do it.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sweet.
You can't tell me that if you kick somebody, and you're a lot taller than everybody else is too, if you kick somebody with that, most likely they wouldn't touch you. Most likely it would hurt really bad.
It would.
Yeah.
It would. And also, I'm defeating like a lot of things here too. Like if we're squared off and I go to throw that, I might be like by putting my head over here, I might be defeating even a wilder right hand than that. I mean, that was a pretty good two.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
So, of course. This is Sensei Seth. But yeah. So I like that one.
Yeah. So that's the thought process. Most of the time, kind of like working backwards. What is the biggest, most prominent strike going to be? It's going to be a big right hand.
Right.
What do I want to do? Not be in the way of that big right hand and not have to wait for the perfect moment to throw my own strike.
Yeah.
What's the best answer? To go a different route, to smack something underneath and kick super hard continuously.
Right, and this is like a basic principle that I would talk about at a beginner's boxing class too. Like somebody in the streets is going to be swinging that wild right, so just catch it and then give them a straight right. It's a similar principle, except we're just using kicks.
Yes, exactly. It's trying to mitigate the biggest, most prominent target, boom, and then firing back.
Love it.
The next one is actually going to be, let me get a
Oh, yeah.
In action.
Also.
Okay, so the next one is going to be, for me,
Okay.
and we'll see this later with you, I am confident with my timing, with my speed. Sidekick, I could sit anybody down pretty much whenever I want it.
Yeah.
And it's a sidekick. Now we know sidekicks don't work.
Never. They never have.
But sidekicks are awesome because you can get a ton of range, you get a ton of power, you get a head that is like super extended. Thing you see after or in fights is like strikes, and then you see grabbing and trying to pick up. Like you very rarely see somebody being like, grab, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna like pop this foot out while I pull you back. You see like, right? So that's the biggest risk, is that I slip this and miss it, then I end up in this situation. But if you know how to kick, and you practice kicking a bunch, you should know how to get away if you miss.
Right.
Or how to like mitigate that after you miss. So this is not here's 3 kicks that you can learn right now, and you won't have to learn anything else. That would be stupid, I'm not telling you. I'm saying sidekick is an awesome option to keep like, I'm really far away right now, and throwing like a hard kick from a range that would suck. And something that is going to stop.
What was that? All right.
That was a sidekick. So I'm here, and I go, whoop, I pick this foot up, I put it between me and the target, so if they come in, I can stop, right?
Okay.
Or if it's a heavier bag even, I can stop, and also then I can extend through. Like, as people are starting to punch, what happens is their form goes out the window, their balance gets really weird. Their feet are either too far forwards or they're too far backwards, and I can use that to set somebody's hips back, or side kick up top and just go, whoo. If I'm throwing a side kick to the chest, they go like this. If I throw a side kick, If I throw a side kick to the body, they go like this.
Yeah.
But the main concept is put your back foot behind your hip.
Okay.
And then throw that side kick. That's the big one that everybody misses. People throw push kicks, and they go like this. And push themselves back. Make sure you keep your back foot in between. But my back foot is in between. I pick my knee up. I turn my hip like this. Boop, boop. And then I go extend and push with my heel.
Okay.
This one is kind
driving the heel into the bag.
Driving the heel into kind of wherever you want.
Okay.
Like you could go knee if you were fighting me. I could go bang and go into the knee like very like Bruce Lee-esque.
Yeah.
I could go chest. If you want to be really mean as people come in, not the best option. Actually, don't do this one. You can side kick the face.
Yeah.
More likely to get caught and taken down.
Yeah.
More likely to just straight up miss because it's what people are moving the most.
Yeah.
Like that happens.
I feel like if you could side kick people in the face, this probably isn't your introduction to sidekicks. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point too.
You probably know sidekicks.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people's sidekicks actually start off like higher because they go like this.
Yeah.
And they turn and they're just trying to get their foot up. They're not looking at where it's going, and sometimes it just slides up. If you tell a person to sidekick during sparring, a bunch of them are going to go up. It actually kind of happens a lot. But the main thing is I want to think up to down, and pushing away, making sure my foot is kind of like 45 degree. The same thing as your roundhouse kick ends. I'm just starting here. He's pointed out, hips inside, push,
Okay.
Let's see it.
Okay.
You're gonna have to cut a lot of this out.
I feel like this is, he's firing off an intercontinental ballistic missile from his hips every single time here.
Yeah,
I don't know. Can I start with my right leg, or do I have to? Okay.
So put your right leg in the front.
Okay.
If I'm teaching self-defense, I want to be able to be like, hey man, look, and go throw that kick from wherever.
Okay.
Like if somebody's coming in, I can kind of like Philly shell a little bit and pop out a side kick.
Yeah, okay. So I'm bringing this high, boom.
Yep. Yes, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Now, give it a little bit of hip.
Give it a little bit of hip.
Yep.
So like folding coming in from here, almost.
Toes out, toes this way,
Okay.
push.
Okay.
So that knee bend, bang. Yes, much better. Much better.
Okay, all right.
Now turn this hip towards me even a little bit more as you can.
Okay. Almost like I'm popping it forward like I'm throwing a hook.
A little bit.
We're making connections.
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Nothing like that.
Never mind. Abort.
All right.
Good. Now no step. Now just pick your foot.
All the stutter steps are happening there. Okay, here we go.
You went boom, bang. If you go boom, bang, you're more likely to step too far, be leaning back, and then kick.
My feet were together, I'm smothering myself, all these things are happening.
Yeah, exactly. You're too tall for that.
Too tall for that. All right, so. Oh, that was low.
That was low, but it was better. It was low for you. You would have kicked somebody in the belly button. But you'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay,
You gotta take those things into consideration.
All right, should we go to left leg or should we keep going?
No, if you're going street fight.
Okay. See, but my thing is, if I'm in a street fight, I'm teeing off in my orthodox stance with my.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I get caught with my right foot forward.
Right.
Fire that off.
Yeah.
Step
So
back.
we teach stuff for like different situations, like, oh, I'm some like girl at the party and somebody's coming up behind me,
Bang.
and I pop one off. I might not necessarily want to go.
Yeah.
So for me, this is one of those where it's like, I'm in a bad spot, bang.
Yeah.
Rather, like it's situational, you know what I mean?
True. Could be like someone's coming up behind you.
If you are
Yeah.
square, don't throw a side kick.
Okay.
It's not worth the time to adjust.
Right.
If you are square, you can pop off a front kick. It's a lot of people's favorite. It's not personally my favorite. It's Mike's favorite. You've seen Mike on this channel. Mike likes to throw a like, boom, one of these. I don't like the idea of having my front foot be the base.
Okay.
Because one, I either have to travel super far to get it behind me as like a pushing force. Pretty much I always like to have my base right behind my head.
Okay.
Because it's good for being able to push and keep the balance. But front kick, not one of the three that we're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? Back foot, bonk. Okay, so throwing my front kick, if you're in a more squared stance, this is easy to do. You see a lot of MMA fighters do this now because of the risk of having the legs taken. They stand a little bit more like this so they can always sprawl. Mm-hmm. But here, my foot comes up just like I'm going off in a sprint. Keep this front leg bent, boom, up and as tight as you can get it. You wanna have your foot be really close to you. Boom, and then I just push off. As I push off, I make sure my base foot is behind my hip, and then I drive. This is super detailed.
Okay.
I forget that I haven't made any videos that have details in a while, so it's all just like.
Exactly.
So sorry.
Yeah. Come from Sensei Seth's channel to Hard to Kill, you get the details. That's what
Yeah, exactly.
So here, my foot needs to be behind my hip as I'm kicking. You said so. This back foot is going to stay back here, and then I'm like pressing.
Yeah. So if you want to go teep, that's a good
That
way
was
to
more
do
like
it.
a teep. That wasn't very snappy.
No, well, so teep.
Yeah.
I usually just refer to as teep is the front leg, front kick is the back leg.
Ooh, okay.
That's just me personally. Anytime I've done a front kick, which is like a karate like thing, like a teep is definitely Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Usually they'll throw that with their front leg and it's kind of a jab. Boom, they stand here and then go bong, right? For a front kick, I get a little more range. Boom, I can stand further away, boom, because it's the back leg and it has to travel, and this now becomes my base. Here, what's a good direction to go with this? Front kick is long, it's strong. The main reason that I don't like super love it as compared to the side kick, if my side kick gets caught, I can drop this knee down and get out.
Okay.
If my front kick gets caught, it's a little bit more tricky. Now, obviously, like if you watch Muay Thai, they have a way to get those feet out of there.
Right.
Most likely, if you front kick somebody who's trying to fight you, you want to think opposite angle. If I'm kicking the foot, I go from up to down.
Okay.
If their body is kind of like lean back, it's kind of difficult to front kick them because I don't have the opposite angle. If you're leaning forwards, I have this opposite angle here because your body's like this, I want to kick like this.
Okay.
If your body's like this,
Axe kick me.
I could
Drop it
axe
down.
kick,
Right. Yeah.
but then I like it's like all the risks of a front kick times 5.
Yeah, exactly. Not for the streets.
Yeah, not for the streets. I mean, I am honestly confident that I could throw an axe kick in a street fight against 95% of people.
Yeah.
Just because I have so much time training doing that, way more than anybody else has having an axe kick thrown at them.
That's also true.
We might have even said that in the last video, but okay. Front kick, I'm thinking pushing or stabbing. So I'm either going boom and loading it up, loading up my knee, getting it up and then pushing away, or picking my knee up and extending on the way.
Okay.
So thinking either up, push, or bang. Kind of like the equivalent of, what's a punchy term?
What's a punchy term?
What's a punchy term I can use for this? Like the difference
Like
in...
a stiff arm and a jab, or?
Like the difference in having your hands on somebody and pushing them, or popping them on the way.
Okay.
Like I can go, whoop, bang, and do something pushy, or I can do something stabby. Yeah. But that's front kick, if I'm more square, is going to be with my back leg personally.
Yeah.
Because if you're worried about the hands a bunch, you're going to throw a punch a bunch, you're probably front leg heavy. A little bit.
Yeah. Wait. When? In what situation? In fighting, I would say.
Actually, that's a great point. Let's do that. How are you standing? And then I'll come up with a kick from there.
Okay. So how am I standing? I get in my fighting stance. I'm about to throw down.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, what's up?
I'm probably like 60-40 back leg, front leg. So a little heavier on the back.
Okay. Then let's go T.
Yeah.
I'm heavy on the back leg. My foot comes up. I bring my knee up to my chest. I always want to have my foot between me and my target. In case something goes down, I want to be able to at least push myself back. Like if I can't stop him from moving forward, like I push myself back. But keep that foot in between. You don't want to have your foot not in between, and then they come in and you're picking your foot up, and you have that go on.
Yeah.
But front teep, I am going knee up to my chest and then extending away. Same thing. I'm pushing with my back hip. Keep it behind your foot. If you go like this, you push yourself away.
Okay.
But main concept, boom, knee comes up to the chest, boom, and then from there you extend, kind of turning everything else with it.
And this is way more Muay Thai than karate.
This is super Muay Thai.
Super Muay Thai. All right. So I'm here. I'm really light on my front leg.
Yep.
And I'm just.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Give it a push.
All right.
Good. Good. So street fight, you're thinking, keep going.
Okay.
Street fight, you're thinking either I'm pushing them away or I'm damaging them. Like either I'm trying to make them fall down or I'm damaging them. That's kind of where you come in. Either you make contact and then drive, or you try and drive into them.
Okay.
So
are you trying to stab any with the front foot, or when you're stabbing, is it all like?
You can definitely stab with the front foot. A little bit harder to extend that way. But there should be some level of stab in the kick.
Okay.
And when I say stab, I mean drive starting here and finish about halfway through them, rather than drive starting here and finish way behind them.
So this is sort of a kind of an offshoot question.
Okay.
How much is this like? So take your top 3 kicks that you throw when you're sparring. How much is that differing between what you're talking about for the street fights?
Oh, for me, big time.
Okay. What are you throwing in sparring? Are you throwing like hook kicks and axe kicks?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm
tornado kicks.
If I'm sparring, I'm throwing a bunch of kicks to the head. Like maybe I'll throw some hook kicks. I throw a ton of side kicks. All the time I'm throwing side kicks. Because it is so, and you'll see later, it is good for me to be able to keep distance and keep people away. Like my punch has gotten much better than it started. But still, if there's somebody who I think is trying to punch me hard, I'll stay back. I'll throw those good hard side kicks. I throw a lot of low kicks where I'm either too far away from them to touch me, or I'm off the center. Those first two, I throw all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, my front kick I throw a lot too, but volume-wise, I like to get tricky with it, because if you're not practicing it, it's not getting better.
So let's say now, for the thought experiment, you're a guy who trains a lot. Talking from your perspective. Say someone like you, maybe you've got like a really good point fighter or something like that. I'm sure a lot of your audience, a lot of my audience trains. So now should they be thinking, okay, now I need to switch modes. If I get in a street fight, I'm throwing these safer kicks. Or is it better to stick to the things that you practice and do all the time?
Learn right now, not when the moment comes, how to switch it over to a safer aspect. Like the scariest part about throwing a kick in a street fight is getting it caught. if you don't know how to break fall, if you don't know how to adjust and grapple, if you don't know how to do things that would be the bad part of throwing a kick, you gotta switch it up so those bad things don't happen in the first place.
Right.
So like I throw lower kicks, or I only throw kicks when they are on the ground. But yeah, start to adjust it. The stuff that you do best, apply it to much, much safer routes.
All right. All right, well, I'm happy with it, Seth.
Sweet.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Subscribe or I'll kick you.
Bang! That's his thing. Follow Hard to Kill Fitness. Follow me on Instagram @JabsWithJake. Follow the producer @DawsonAV. See you guys next time.
Bang.